But to call fellow Americans an enemy, I don't think is doing you any justice.
Adam. Tom, you can say that, but you got to look at both sides because it's happening on both sides.
Would you have Gavin Newsom on the podcast?
When Kathy Griffin holds up a severed head and said he's better off dead, what the hell is that?
I'm not that. When Kathy Griffin is a used-up comedian.
Things are getting pretty heated over at the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel. This time we have PBD host Vinny Oshana going after Adam for a ridiculously woke take here live on the PBD podcast. Let's get into this clip where Patrick Bet David is stunned at what Vinny has to say about Adam and to his face, and the debate gets very explosive, very fiery. Let's get into the clip.
Bill Maher is now apparently going to the White House to visit Trump, and he's getting a lot of slack for it. When he was on a podcast, Kid Rock was there a couple of weeks ago and said, "I want you to come meet Trump, and I'm going to take you to the White House, and we're going to go there." And then Kid Rock said a Trump supporter appeared on Real Time. Maher predicted backlash from left saying, and there will be lots of people on the left who will be like, how dare you talk to this man? It's like, F you. I'm not playing this game that you mean girls play. Oh, you know that. You can't. Is this the clip, Rob? Of what he says? Okay, play that clip, Rob. It's better off I'm saying.
Rob was here a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I want you to meet Trump. He said, I'm going to take you to the White House. So now we're going to do that.
I think that's
and like
a good
there will be
conversation.
lots of people on the left who will be like, how dare you talk to this man? I'm like, fuck you. You know, I'm not playing this game with that you mean girls play.
Schultz.
Where like, oh, you know what? You can't sit at my lunch table because I'm just not talking to you. Not talking to you, you lost the election. Who the fuck do you think you have to talk to? You know, it's one thing if you win it. It's another thing if you lose it.
You got to start talking to people.
Have to talk. And I see Gavin Newsom is doing this now. He's changed his tune. He's got a podcast, and the first guest was Charlie Kirk.
I thought that was,
I
thought that was brilliant. You
and
have
he mentioned me. He said, like, I'm noticing what Bill does, talks to both sides, like, is left-leaning, but not afraid to criticize the people on his team. Like, we got to get more of this going.
This
has to become the center. This has to become a real center. Right now, it's like it's a few lonely islands that need to like become a bigger fucking sandbar.
Yeah, no, for real, you're right. Like it needs to be normalized.
Adam.
Well, Bill Maher is absolutely right. I mean, I don't care what he says, no matter what he does, he's always, always, always going to be left of center. His city could burn down. They can chop off all the dicks in California. He's still going to be like, I'm still with Gavin. He doesn't care. But he's at least willing to have the conversation. Like, he'll go to the edge of the line. He'll look over on the other side. Be like, not yet. How old is Bill Maher, by the way? He's got to be 70. No? So what you have to give him credit for is that he's at least willing. 69, dude. He's about to be 70 next year. He's at least willing to have that conversation. I mean, you had a great conversation with him on the podcast. And by conversation, I mean he spoke to you for about 2 hours. And you said,
Vinny,
you asked him a couple questions.
Okay, well, listen, this is my opinion. You guys are going to like it because I know where, you guys, the dialogue is good. I know people want to hear it. But here's the thing. Why Bill Maher still does it right now? I know he's kind of shifting, but he called Trump a Nazi, Hitler, a traitor, an idiot, criminal, threat to democracy. What are they going to meet about? He also said he belongs in prison. He made fun of his family. He called people that support him stupid. And in 2016, he wrote did a special called Whiny Little Bitch to trash Trump. And let's not forget, he offered $5 million, do you remember this, to charity if Trump could prove his dead mother, didn't have sex with an orangutan. Okay, let's just put that out there, okay? That's not criticism. That's freaking hate.
I mean, it's a joke. It's kind of funny to me. it's a little funny, but yeah, I mean, it is like, it's ridiculous, but it's exemplary of the differences between the right wing and the left wing. If a right winger said anything even close to what Vinny's talking about here and what Bill Maher said, if a right winger said anything close to that about Kamala Harris, right? Kamala Harris would never invite that person to her house, right? To have dinner or whatever Bill Maher and Donald Trump are going to do together, right? That would never, ever happen. but Donald Trump is willing to do it. And I think sometimes, you know, right wingers are a little bit too accepting of people, right? I think that can be the case too. I don't think this is one of those cases. I don't think it's bad to make friends versus making enemies, you know, turn enemies into allies. If you can turn Bill Maher into an ally, that's another pretty large platform and a name with a pretty decent amount of pull that can help you win an election in the future, help you get more votes in the future, you know, or at least not actively promote your enemy, actively promote the other side. So I think Vinny's correct that he did really go after Donald Trump and say some pretty crazy stuff about him. So it's shocking that they would be meeting. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think it's actually a pretty smart move. I think it's chess.
Okay, and what to me it's what is that going to help Trump? Seeing Bill Maher in the White House is going to do what? I'm just curious. He's not going for re-election. He's not. To me, all it does is hurt the opposite side, because let's be real. People like Gavin Newsom. Okay, he's not a political opponent. He's the enemy. Okay, if he gets into the power, what do you guys think he's going to do? All this podcasting and all this thing, to me, it's making them look like, yeah, the other side is good, because it's not about us. The Republicans are going to vote for him. Their side is going to go, you know what? Gavin seems, hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
You can, but let me finish. We're making him seem like he's a good person because he's speaking on a podcast. Adam, do not let these people fool you. Once they get into power, that guy is a full of shit snake. Okay, you don't, this is war. You don't hand the enemy the microphone. You don't give them a platform. You don't give them the spotlight. You don't make them look good, because once they go in, don't get it twisted, bro. This is positive and negative. It's good and evil. Gavin Newsom, you want to make him look good for what? Look at what he does to the state. Look at California, okay? We dodged a bullet with Kamala. I'm not a fan of it. They're the enemy, bro. Why make them look good?
Let me ask you this
They
question.
would destroy the
I see what Vinny's saying. He's making a decent point here. If there's independent voters, swing voters who voted for Donald Trump this time around, Donald Trump earned their vote. They like him, right? They're trusting Donald Trump's judgment, and Donald Trump is bringing people like Bill Maher and making him seem like a friend into the White House. And next time around, Bill Maher is promoting Gavin Newsom to be president. It might cause some of those swing voters to take Bill Maher's voice a little bit more seriously, the ones who voted for Donald Trump, and maybe they will want, you know, they will want Gavin Newsom to win. Maybe go vote for Gavin Newsom. Who knows? That could be the case. I'm not sure.
Country if they had the chance to do it. And it almost happened with Kamala.
So there's a lot of what you just said that I agree with, but you keep calling the Democrats the enemy.
They
the
are.
enemy.
They are.
The enemy.
They really are.
I don't know.
Adam.
Okay.
They really are.
Just because
I believe it.
they're
In my heart of hearts.
They're Americans.
You can still be evil and be an American.
Okay. Well, this is where you lose a little bit of credibility, in my estimation.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you should find a different word than enemy. These are Americans. They're elected in America.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I agree with Gavin Newsom? No. Do I think he's a snake oil salesman? Yes. Do I think that he would be disaster for America? Yes. But calling someone an enemy, like the Ayatollahs in Iran that are shouting death to America, are an enemy.
Bro, they are an enemy. They are an enemy. Like, the things that they promote, just because it's like a lot of things that they promote, like forcing jabs and stuff like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Things like that, authoritarianism type things. The bad part is they don't even, the left-wing voters, the Democrat voters, they don't even really believe in that stuff. They just know, oh, the other side is saying we shouldn't do this, therefore I must say we should do this. But the people that they're voting for are the enemy. They're the people who are sold out to China and foreign countries and doing the bidding of the world elites, right? The global cabal. Like, that stuff's real, man. Like, it's very obviously real. They're doing the bidding of those people. And so they are the enemy. They straight up are the enemy. They're the enemy not just of America, but of Western civilization, right? And we don't have to go into that whole discussion, but it's the truth. They're trying to break up the family unit. They're trying to poison the health of people in the Western world. And it's very obvious that they're trying to do that. They're trying to feminize everyone so they're easier to control. It's very obvious. They are the enemy.
North Korea that threatens us with missiles, enemy, right? China, competitor. I don't even know if they're an enemy per se, maybe. But to call fellow Americans an enemy, I don't think is doing you any justice.
Adam. Tom,
You can say that
But you got to look at both sides because it's happening on both
Would
sides.
you have Gavin Newsom
when
on the
Kathy
podcast?
Griffin holds up a severed head and said he's better off dead, what the hell is that?
I'm not that.
When
Kathy,
you've
Kathy
got them
Griffin is a
referring to
used
us-
up comedian. I'm not worried about her. I'm talking about
no. Let's go to Hillary
congressmen. I'm
Clinton
talking about
and the
governors.
deplorables. And then let's go.
I don't
if
condone
there's
that
voter
either.
suppression, it should be on the other side. There's been plenty said about that the conservatives are the enemies, that the conservatives are backwater, that the conservatives shouldn't even be voting. There's a lot of it that goes on
I
backside.
fully agree
so
that
you
that is a
can't just
horrible
attack
rhetoric.
one side on Vinny and say, "Oh, Vinny, be careful about saying enemy." Where did this start?
Tom, I agree with you. You got your panties in a bunch.
No, he's
I don't like
passionate.
No, stop
anybody.
it. Stop.
They absolutely just cooked you, man. Like this is really dumb, and it's par for the course for Adam. Like this is why people don't like Adam very much. I don't hate the guy personally. I just think a lot of his takes are really, really stupid. This is one of those takes right here, and you got absolutely cooked here live on the PBD podcast. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Vinny Oshana and Tom also going after Adam here for these ridiculous takes on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel? Which side are you on? Are you on Adam's side? Are you on Vinny's side? Are you on Tom's side? Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this whole PBD podcast debate?